Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another mod overview for The Sims 4. This time I'm showing off 20th Century Plumbob's map replacement mods. You may remember years ago, I did show off a similar kind of mod, and it was a joint project between Cheyenne and Noir Sims. So 20th Century Plumbob's approach is pretty different and interesting, because they're more like 3D representations using in-game screenshots, so yeah, pretty interesting. If you're not familiar with how these map replacement mods work, literally all they do is replace how this screen looks. They don't add any more lots, they don't change anything about how the worlds look when you're playing like in live mode or if you're building. So even though that is all these mods do, these are still some of my favorite mods to use because these make me more excited to play the game, even if they're not the most important part of the game. Presentation still counts for something, and especially, like, say, let's go over to Newcrest, because I don't have the map mod for this one installed. It's just kind of like, it's so simple, but to the point where I feel like it's kind of boring. And also, some of the maps don't really look that accurate to what they are in game from what Maxis has drawn. Like, for example, why is this road like down here when it should be like going across right in front of the lots like that? It just doesn't make sense. And where's like the little river that curves and goes down here? Like, it's not on the map at all. Very strange. So actually, 20th Century Plumbob's map for Newcrest is in early access right now. Bam! There it is on the screen. See, doesn't that just look way better than the vanilla one? So they are, if I remember correctly, released for free about a week after early access. So the Newcrest one should be out in a few days. But yeah, I really like how these map mods look. The newest one that's out for the public right now is actually Sulani. Also, with 20th Century Plumbob's mods, there's two different versions you can download. Just have one of them in at a time, because the default one is just with like a default amount of saturation, and then there's a low saturation option, which I feel like does look a little bit more accurate to what you see in the game. So I actually have a mixture, because for Sulani and Oasis Springs, which you actually just saw, and also for there was one other one. Oh, Henford on Bagley, I did the low saturation option, and then all the other ones I went with the default, because I feel like with the sand in particular, it doesn't look as good with the like the default saturation. But like, this is so cool, right? Like, this is all the boats over there and the islands over here. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. Let's take a look at another one. Willow Creek, unfortunately, not done yet, but Magnolia Promenade. Let's go to that one from Get to Work. See, I feel like, especially with the maps that are just the one neighborhood, it really like looks good, because then you don't have to try and blend the different neighborhoods together to screenshots. It just, yeah, it just looks so good. There's even little Simsy's favorite thing ever, the steamboat right over there. There is one for Sam Aishino. This one is quite interesting because it's at nighttime, unlike all the other ones that 20th Century Plumbob has done so far. But yeah, I really like this. It even gives me some late night vibes, considering it's, well, at nighttime. So yeah, this is very cool. Probably one of my favorite ones. And then let's go over to Brindleton Bay. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Brindleton Bay is actually my favorite world in the game right now, and it's just interesting to look at it from this sort of perspective. I mean, it does make it feel like a little bit closer to The Sims 3 that way. Not quite, since you're not like actually seeing the world go by, but still in terms of just how the map looks. Let's go over to Strangerville. Yeah, so this is quite interesting too. I feel like the crater actually stands out a lot more in this map mod than it does in the original. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you have the Shady Acres part up here. So yeah, I think this looks pretty interesting as well, and also very cool the effect with the rocks in the foreground, kind of like really showing how the downtown is almost completely surrounded by these rocks. I guess it does look a little stretchy over here. I'm not sure how to explain it. Not quite perfect, but still, like, it's not like too big a deal to me. And then Sulani we already saw. Oh yeah, Glimmerbrook was the very first one actually that came out, I remember now. So look at this with the like sunset sort of effect, and yeah, it kind of goes with the whole like, oh yeah, it's the magic world, sort of. I mean, the magic realm you can't access through map view anyways, but yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool, especially when you have like all the different lots placed down, since I've downloaded a bunch of different lots from the gallery. I've only built like a few lots in my Let's Play save here. Next we'll go to Henford on Bagley. Sadly nothing for Mount Komorebi yet. 20th Century Plumbob, if you're watching this video, I really hope this is one of your next ones, because I haven't actually seen anyone do a map mod for this world, and I think it would look gorgeous with your styles, so very much looking forward to that one. But Henford on Bagley, this is one of my favorite ones. I just love how this one turned out, and yeah, I did use the low saturation one for this one. I just felt like the low saturation one looked a bit better to me, and I guess it's also because I use a lighting mod for this world in-game that also kind of, yeah, it's a little bit more accurate to what that mod looks like. But yeah, very nice with all the trees and the waterfalls here, the Cordelia Falls. Just overall, yes. I don't think I have any complaints about this one, really. It just looks very, very good. And then, last but certainly not least, we have Tartosa from my wedding stories. This one, oh, this one might actually be my favorite one so far. I especially love the hot air balloon. What a nice touch, especially since you do see those hot air balloons flying around, and I don't know what it is about it. I guess it's kind of like an optical illusion, at least to me. With the way that it looks, it almost gives me the impression as if it's moving back and forth a little bit, just a little bit. Am I the only one who can see that? I don't know. It's not supposed to actually be moving, because this is still static map art minus like the effects from Eco Lifestyle, but still, I don't know. I just find that kind of interesting how at least that looks from my point of view. But yeah, this looks so good as well. You just have all the water, the river going down here, and the sea. I wish there was an actual canon name for the sea. I just think of it as like the Simterranean Sea in my head, because I think of it's like, oh, like Mediterranean-inspired world, so Mediterranean Sea in Simlish. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, overall it looks very good. The lighthouse is there, so yes, very, very good on this one. And it is kind of like, actually I'm not sure if it's sunrise or sunset. I guess it is more like sunset. But yeah, this looks really good as well. So no, unfortunately, none of the vacation worlds have been covered yet. But Selva Dorada, I think, is actually supposed to be the next one that will release. I did see a couple of previews over on Twitter, so look forward to that. But yep, that is all of the map mods released for now, so I hope you enjoyed this look at all of them, and I will leave a link to 20th Century Plumbob's Patreon in the video description below, so you can go and download them all. I mean, they are all in separate packages, so you don't have to actually like use all of them at the same time if you don't want to, because I actually still have some of Dershan and Warsim's maps in my game, because yeah, I did have the New Crest one before just like doing this video, because it's kind of funny, like it has me just torn, because I like the art style of the Dershan and Warsim's ones, but I also really like how 20th Century Plumbobs look, so it's just like, ah. So I've kind of started using 20th Century Plumbobs more, but yeah, even if you wanted to, you could like mix the two styles of map mods. As long as you keep one per world, then you shouldn't have any issues. I'm not really sure what would happen if you had like both like map mods for Oasis Springs, for example. But yeah, that's basically it for this video, so feel free to let me know your thoughts on these map mods in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content, including life simulations and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!